Hey guys, it's Frosty, and today I'm going to be talking about all of my years of playing basketball and how it sort of just blew up in my face. So, this is voiceover because I personally don't think I'd be able to focus on the game while talking about this. So, just so you know that this isn't live, and so go grab your popcorn and let's get started with the video. So, I started basketball at the age of 5, and I've always liked basketball, even though I'm actually not that tall. When I was 5, I was on this team at this rec center where my swimming lessons took place. But then the next year I switched to this park. So this park has like multiple teams. And so I was always on a team with all boys. And you know how kind of difficult it is, especially because my mom made me lie and say I was 7 when I was 6. So, because I was gonna turn 7 in like less than a month when this happened, because I was basically 7, but I wasn't 7. So my mom made me lie to them at the age of 6 and say I was 7, and I don't know, I just found that really funny. Yeah, so I was the youngest for obvious reasons, considering the fact that I had to lie. But my first season, I didn't really play much because I was 6, and yeah. And so I just remember that I was actually good at defense at this age. It's just kind of weird though, because considering that later on I'm not really known for my defense. But at the I just remember how I would the second I would get into the game, I would just be like running around. It was more I guess at the my younger ages, basketball was more just for fun. And so I got older, and so soon I got onto a team with this coach that I had for a while at this park. So at this point, whenever I would get on, I don't know if you guys know, but basketball, there's defense. So we did 2-3. So I would always be up top because I'm short, and yeah. Also because even though at the age of 8 and etc., the ages that I played this park, there were no official positions for obvious reasons. But I was always a guard in the sense that I was always up top and never really manning the hoop. So yeah. I just remember I was really aggressive, which is kind of funny. I guess it's just because I was one of the only girls at this entire park that played basketball. And I don't know, I just found defense fun. And that's also because I didn't really get past the ball that much. So I didn't really do that much shooting. And then I got to around the age of 9. And that's when I got a basketball hoop in my house by the age of 8. So by the age of 9, I was much better at shooting. This is when that coach that I got when I was 7, he popped up again. So I joined. I was on his taught at a different place. So I also had private lessons with him because I was really into basketball. So at the age of 10, that was also continuing on. But then by that point, the park that I had, he left, and there was a different coach, and I didn't really like it. So that was my last year there at the age of 10. And then the next year was my 6th grade season, and for 6th grade, that's when middle school starts. So I was the only girl again, so because at this point I was still at my current school, started at 7th grade and ends at 12th. So at this point, I was on my 6th grade team, because there was 5th and 4th grade team, and then there's a 6th grade team. So I was on the 6th grade team, and so I barely played in our only game, because all of our games got canceled. There were so many odd instances that made it so we only had one game. But during that one game, I literally played for 2 minutes, and that's literally it. And the funniest part was I was better than most of the people on our team. No offense to them, they also admitted it. But the coach just didn't want me to play against the guys because the other team was all guys. And so, but I did get a chance to play when the 5th and 4th graders were versing this all-girls school team, which also one of the people on that team happened to be my softball teammate, which is kind of funny, but yeah. And so they let me play them, and I'm kind of realizing now how sexist that kind of was, a bit, it may not sound like it was, but the only time I was allowed to play was when it was against girls. Okay, thank you, but no thank you at the same time. Anyway, so we absolutely destroyed them. No offense. Sorry, old softball teammate. But that was enough for my 6th grade season. So by the time I got to 7th grade, that was obviously my COVID year, so I didn't really sign up for basketball, but there was literally no point because it was COVID year. So now we get on to my 8th grade season. So by this point, I was 13, and this was probably my peak when it came to basketball, because I ended up quitting basketball after this season, which I'll explain why. And so at this point, I was really good at three-pointers because I was a shooting guard, and I could also play point, as I did have a season of point when I was 10 years old, but I was mostly a shooting guard because I was just a natural shooter when it came to like long shots especially. So by this point I was pretty good at shooting, and like 3-pointers were something I could do with ease. But on the first day of practice, so this is after tryouts, this is like after I made the team, this is after all of that. On the first day of tryouts, I sprained my ankle before practice, and as sad as that sounds, I like played for like 5 minutes in practice because like at this point the coaches knew I was like a really fast runner, so I was like running fast as normal, and so it just got worse. And that was really, I should have just told them, I should have realized at the beginning that I shouldn't be playing, but I didn't realize it was like sprained because I was like, this is just like just hurts, it's not really a sprain, it's just me being wimpy about it, blah blah blah. And so yeah, and so I went to practice, realized it was hurting a lot, went to the trainer gave me an ankle brace, and that was the end of practice for me. And at the time I was like, oh, it's fine, I'll come back next week. But this was a Monday, and on Friday I sprained my other ankle, and for this it was actually not my fault. So I had first period off and my friend had first period band, so I went to go pick her up because we both had second period science. And so the performing arts building is like below the science building, so it's like off to the side but like underground. And so we were going up the stairs, and so once we got to like the ground level, I was walking and then my ankle fell underneath my foot, and that was like, and then I knew it was sprained. Like I entered science class and like it hurt so badly. I was just sitting on the floor because we were doing a lab. I was just sitting on the ground holding my ankle because I literally couldn't walk up, and it was pretty bad. So my teacher sent me to the trainer, and he was like, not you again, and then he handed me another ankle brace because he realized it was like actually really badly sprained. But I ended up playing in a few games by like later in the season when I was wearing ankle braces, and I actually shot a couple of 3-pointers with my ankle brace in a game, so that was pretty fun. And there was also a practice where like before practice started, I still had the ankle brace by this point, so I had still had both of them. It was like in January-ish, and so before practice started, I shot. Let me just make this very clear that I could have gone farther, but practice started. I shot 13 3-pointers in a row with 2 ankle braces on. Peak Frosty moment, I completely agree. And so that was officially like the end of my basketball career. After my 8th grade season, I quit for 9th grade because 9th grade I decided to focus only on softball because it would get me less injured. I'll talk about softball in the next video if you guys want that. But that's it for my basketball talk. I still really love basketball, and I hope that you can comment down below what you want me to talk about next, and I will make sure to do so. Have a great day, and thank you for watching this video. Bye!